Hi, I'm Angela Greenick, and I'm still in Gnarp, Sweden. I want to introduce one of the most extraordinary young women I've ever met. Well, really, I have two of them. And we met a few years ago, and through the power of a prophetic word, I give you this word, and it had to do with writing a book for children. And so I want you to take a few minutes and share what that has happened, what has happened with that word that was given to you.
That day I met you, and I had this dream in my whole life. I had built this dream up, but then I have let it down, and I can't do this. This is impossible, and stuff. And then I met you, and the first thing you said to me was, "You're very creative.
Yes,
you're writing books," and I was like almost shocked because what? No, that dream I had put away, and. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And so
anyway, I started to, that weekend I had this whole story, and I started to write it down, and this was the result of it.
And so you have a book.
Yeah.
A children's book.
Yes.
And tell me about the book.
This is a story about two siblings. His name is Nicholas and Tekla, and Nicholas' name means
protector or leader of the people,
and Tekla
means God's worship.
So this book is about the armor of God, and it's about the salvation. And yes, maybe you can help me to tell a little bit more about it.
Yeah, Desiree. Now, what is your part in the book? Because now you wrote the book. But when you bring two people together, I'm going to tell you what, that the creative juices start to flow, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk to me? What is your part in the book?
I started off as I would do the cover of it, so the pictures I've drawn.
The drawing on this, I have to tell you, every time I look at this, I feel like they're real people looking at me. Yeah. Was that your goal, or just...
Yeah,
okay, because it worked. I just want you to know that. It really worked, that's right.
Oh, that's good. Because when I was in the process of writing or drawing the pictures, I spoke a lot with Viktoria. We were discussing the different parts of the book and how everything looked like. Because I wanted to see it, how it looked like. And so from that discussion, things... evolved, and it's expanded the story also, because first it was 70 pages I think, but now it's up in 140 I think. So while we were discussing how everything looked like, it got broader and more came into the story, and we could see how it looked like. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so I helped also with the grammar and
yes, of course,
making the words flow.
Yes,
so
because it's important.
Yeah.
Like when we have there's something about us. We were told when we were younger we have dyslexia, and they're like, I can say a paragraph, or I can talk for an hour, but only write down a line. And I'm thinking everybody already got the rest of the memo, but nobody's got the rest of it. He goes, "Where's the rest of the story?" I'm like, "Well, it's right there." He's like, "No." And so he has to help me too. I'm just saying that to encourage you, because sometimes I get stuck in my mind. I think I already said it.
Yeah.
But is that you?
Yeah.
Yes. But that's okay though, because we're so creative. That's why. It's true. It's so true. When you have that creativity, everything shifts. And so I think the thing that really blesses me so much, I mean, I was getting ready to go, and when you're on that last leg, you're like, we got to go hit that, get going. But the Lord said, go back there and talk to her. And I remember I shook your hair. I was like, shh, because I can. And but God said, I felt like when I did that, it was like an awakening. Like I felt like the lies of the enemy were like entangled in your hair, So I shake people's hair sometimes just to kind of untangle that. But you knew. Like you, all right, talk to me, because you have another book under here. Yeah. So when you were a little girl, you had a dream, because you said that in the beginning. You put the dream away.
Yeah.
And so, but you had a dream.
Yes. When I was like 7 years old, and I got my first diary, and maybe you can help me to tell the story. I'm not so good at English, so that's why have.
No, you're doing very well. But yes, Desiree is the girl. Go ahead, Desiree.
Ja, i alla fall jag fick min första dagbok när jag var 7 år.
So I got my first diary when I was 7 years old.
Och i den så skriver jag liksom att när jag blir stor då ska jag bli fröken och författare. Liksom.
And I wrote in it, when I grow up, I'm going to be a teacher and I'm going to be an author.
Och så blev jag lite äldre, så började jag 3:an och så fortfarande jag skrev så att när jag blir stor då ska jag bli författare.
And I got a bit older, so when I was in 3rd grade, I still wrote that when I'm growing up, I'm going to be a writer and I'm going to be a teacher.
Men så kom jag upp i mellanstadiet och så insåg jag att jag har visst dyslexi.
But then I come into the elementary school, middle school, and I realized that I have dyslexia.
Och det gjorde inte saken så jättesmidigt.
And it wasn't very smooth, it wasn't very easy then.
Så hur som helst, men jag började gymnasiet och jag hade ju ganska svårt i skolan.
So then I went up into high school, into gymnasium, and I had a hard time in school.
Men jag hade ju den här drömmen om att jag ville skriva en bok.
But I had this dream that I wanted to write a book.
Så i gymnasiet tänkte jag att nu så för man får ett projekt man ska göra.
Because in the gymnasium you get this final project that you do before you end school.
Mm-hmm.
Och då tänkte jag att nu ska jag skriva en bok.
And I thought, now I will write a book.
Och mina lärare satt ner med mig och sa så här: Viktoria, nu har du nog tagit dig vatten över huvudet.
My teachers, they sat down with me and they said, now you've gone too far. You can't do this.
Wow.
Men jag hade bestämt mig att det tror jag visst jag kan.
But I had decided, yes, but I can. I will do it.
Så jag började skriva den här historien.
So I started to write.
Om hemlis.
It's a story that's called Secret.
And it's about 2 girls who are very osams.
And they're not very friends. They're not friendly to each other.
Och sen så blir de bästa kompisar.
But then they grow into best friends.
Ja, så jag skrev ut den för hand och sydde ihop alla sidor och klistrade ihop den.
And I wrote it first by hand and I printed it out and then I sewed all the pages together myself and glued it.
Och det här blev resultatet.
And this was the result.
Men så blev jag äldre och man tänkte det där var bara en barnslig dröm.
But then I grew older still and I was thinking, oh, that was just a childish dream.
Äsch liksom, nej men det där är barnsligt liksom, eller var omoget liksom.
Oh, that's not mature, that's nothing.
Ja, strunt i det.
Let's forget about it.
Men det gjorde ju ont här i mitt hjärta i alla fall liksom, att jag vet inte, att när man trycker undan någonting som är ens dröm så lägger man också undan en del av sig själv.
But I was hurting in my heart because when you push away something that's your dream, you push away a part of yourself.
Yes, that's right.
So, and after a while I get quite sick because I was so tired and because I tried to be someone else and in lots of things. So, and then I met you.
Let's take a second. You said I started getting sick because I tried to be someone else.
Yes.
Because you weren't true to yourself.
No.
And see, because you have dreams,
yes.
right?
Mm.
And I think that we're going to take a minute here and talk to, because we're talking, people watch us all over the world, and they're going to see, like there are kids out there that have dreams, and maybe they feel like in school, like I have dyslexia, or I'm in a wheelchair, or my parents are divorced and they fight, or the different dynamics, right, of life.
Yeah. Mm.
And so, what would you tell them? Because you said it, I ended up getting sick.
Yeah.
Because you shut down that part of that creativity.
Yes.
So how would you encourage a young person right now that's watching this?
Gud har ju lagt ner drömmar i oss.
God has put down dreams inside of us.
Och jag tror att det är av en mening.
And I think it's by a purpose, for a meaning.
Och om man inte gör det du känner att du är skapad till att göra.
And if you don't do what God has created you to do,
då mår du inte bra, för att du kan inte ta någon annans plats och du måste ju gå in och vara den du är.
Then you won't feel good because you can't go in and take someone else's place and have someone else take your place.
Mm.
Exactly. That's good. And so then you end up, we meet together, and then you write a book.
Yes.
And so, but the book is an adventure, but it's about the armor of God.
Yes.
And it's on Amazon in America. And what would, because Desiree, let me ask you this. I sense like this would be a great, like, Christmas thing for children, for parents to give their children, right? Like gifts, or in schools and stuff like that, in other nations even. Because the one thing that I'm not seeing is this type of book. Like, I am not seeing that child that's in you, creativity come out, and that's what you have, that childlike faith. And that's why you're like a water walker, and you have what it takes. And so what do you sense, Desiree, for the kids? I mean, what do you sense right now prophetically as we're talking? Because you help create this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Something else I was thinking about when you were speaking, as my role when I came in and worked with Viktoria, it was very important first, because she had all her dreams and all these ideas. And then I needed to help her first to shape it and to get it working so it flowed. Yes. But I needed to get inside of her, so I didn't take over, so I didn't take her work. But then also I needed to be careful so that I didn't discourage her, didn't push down her dreams. And it's very important, if you have people around you who have dreams, everyone have dreams, but be careful with what you say to people, because your words can destroy so much, and they can hinder people from going into dreams and daring to believe and daring to do what God has put inside of them to do.
That's powerful, what you just said. That's powerful. You know why it's so, God, it's so beautiful, because listen, what you do not honor, you'll never have. And when you have that creativity, you could have came in and just smashed it and took it as your own, because people do that. People take my book and make it their own. They take my books and stuff and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, have a good day with that, because you stand before God, not me. But it really, and you have to have people that are creative, but that will push you in good ways. Like you have Desiree, I have Larry, because Larry will push me in good ways. I was sharing with you earlier on my first book, which was called Warfare Manual 101, because there's 5 levels of warfare. And I was typing. It was February 13th, I'll never forget. And I was so angry. And my friends bought me, everybody chipped in to get me a computer. It was really a big deal back then, because I'm old now. But I threw that computer out that door. I was so mad. I was like, God, I'm so stupid. I can't do this. I started crying. I fell on my knees outside and started weeping. Larry got that computer, put it back on that dining room table. He said, you need to get in there right now. He said, now pay attention. And I was really worried it was broken, the computer. I was like, oh, God, but it worked. I know I was nervous, And then within a second, this is true. It's in my book. I sit down and I go, and I want to write to all the people out there that are getting ready to celebrate Valentine's Day or Christmas or a holiday, and you don't have a loved one, or you're not married and you feel alone and abandoned. And then all of a sudden, I got out of myself and I stepped into someone else's shoes, and it really helped me. But a funny little story of a twist on this is, as Larry's writing, it's on the 16 demonic strongholds. And so in the mornings, we had a bigger dog back then, Buddy. I would say, Buddy, go get my coffee turned on, because Larry would be in there typing, fixing, because he never overtakes my words, but he'll help the sentence to make sense. Thank God. He still oversees, not as much anymore, but he looks everything over before it goes out, because I need that second set of eyes, and we double check everything just for, because of accuracy and stuff. But I think the most important thing is that if Larry was dealing with a certain spirit, I was like, oh my God, I know what spirit he's working on today. I could really feel like the Lord would say, keep praying. So did you pray a lot? Like as she was writing, and because Larry got out of the way sometimes, especially when I threw that computer, I was like, shun, dude, I'm done. And it really spoke to me, though, because I didn't want to write it, but I wrote it really for the Catholic Church. And in my first manuscript, I had to send to the Pope 2 popes ago, Pope John Paul, because my book had to be approved for me to teach in the Catholic Church. And I mean, go figure, And I was so scared, because I just, especially because we're teaching on warfare. So did you have like any, because sometimes if you equip people, they get like nutty, in the adult world. But in this story, you have children that are learning the armor of God, correct?
Yes.
And so do you feel like you had to be careful with some of your creativity as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't want to over war them or overstimulate or give them more authority than they don't have.
No, and I wanted to make it true. Sant.
I want to make it interesting.
No, sant.
No, oh, it's true. I want to make it true.
Yeah. So that they understand they can use the armor as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is amazing. And so I think it's interesting also because you were working at a different job and didn't like your job. God's good to you, girl. And so he brings you two superheroes together and you create this book.
Yeah.
And you know what really amazes me? Like I never thought anybody would really read any of my first book. I didn't. And my books actually got sent to a coven. Seriously, they sent it in Salem, Massachusetts, my first book. And but then they remade my books and they sent it to the right people. And I said, Lord, nobody's going to read it. And then I had a mom whose boyfriend was sexually abusing her kids. And she read the book and she said a fire hit me. And I was like, devil, enough is enough. She had a feeling, but she wasn't sure. She didn't know what to do. She went and talked to her two girls and found out it was true. And I said, Lord, if I never had anybody else read the book, I would have been happy because I made a difference, And your book is making a difference because you're teaching children the armor of God, and you really are teaching them that it's okay to get up and go. Correct? And I think I can tell you this. I really believe that God is going to release a publishing company to both of you. You know that you're going to be a publisher, correct? Because that's the vision God's placed. And the second thing that he spoke to me was, I asked you, is it going to be a movie? And you said possibly TV. Or but I know there is a movie coming because the Lord said so. And when God says it, you just have to take it at His word because it will happen. And I just kept thinking, Lord, isn't that amazing that we can come on our side of creativity and take a child on a great adventure, but in God, and still give them a creativity and counter the dark side and the dark things that are coming to kids, because the kids are being drawn to the demonic and the dark things, and they're thinking that the wizards and all that kind of stuff and magic and spells give them power. And here, you girls, through the power of a prophetic word, is changing little children's life. And if anything, it's changed yours. Because I know it's changed mine. I pray for you all the time. I told you I had a bag that they gave me that it came in. And Anna knows because I take it with me everywhere I go. And then I turned around and someone took my bag. So I was very overwhelmed by that. And I kept thinking, okay, God, here we go. And so Anna says, I'll make sure you get a bag before you go home. And I want to take a second here because we had talked earlier and it has to do with a seed. Can you share that, what happened when I left that day?
Samma dag så du profeterade massa saker och jag var väldigt rädd. Jag sa ingenting till dig.
The same day that I met you and you prophesied a lot of things over me, I got very scared. I didn't say anything.
Men jag antar att du såg det på mig.
But you probably saw it on me.
Så då sa du så här till mig att det är som att du håller säd i din hand.
But you said to me, it's like you're holding seeds in your hand.
Och om du håller så här så kan det inte växa.
And if you keep holding it this like tightly, it won't be able to grow.
Yeah. Men om du vågar släppa det,
but if you dare to let it go,
så är det stor chans att det kan växa upp.
Then it's a bigger chance that it can grow up.
And it's interesting. I have the paper. I really thought I had it, but as soon as I get home, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you because it has the word in it, and it had seed, and it was dark, and the seed took flight and it became light, and then it hits the lightning, and God gave me a scripture out of Isaiah of it. And so it's just interesting. And so I have it. I really thought I brought it with me, but I just packed so much and traveled so much. I kind of left some of my books and I left some of my stuff at home for the next trip. I had the wrong, so I do that a lot. But isn't it funny how God just still fills in that part? And so I want you to take a minute. I want you to pray, and then I'm going to have you close in prayer. Is that okay? Yeah. And you can pray in your language.
Tack Jesus. Jag bara tackar dig Jesus. Jag tackar dig Gud för det här projektet. Och jag tackar dig för samarbete med Angela. Och Jesus, jag bara ber för alla som sitter där hemma med sina drömmar och sina tankar. I Jesu namn, jag bara tackar dig att du kommer med vishet och vara uppenbar som att de kan förändra sina liv, att de kan göra det du vill att de ska göra. Och
Kebra bashila la harana maseki la harana mashibro monono sura la pathea. Kebra basheki ulo bosura mahaiki. Sebre meneki ulo bosura masheki la se. Ho rabahaiki ala hai kono mosera bashe. Ho rabatheki la lahi uno mosora bashea. Haya. God, I just thank you that you protect the children, Father. And I just thank you for your holy protection over them, God. I just thank you for the works, the prophetic works that go out, that they don't even know it's Christian, they don't even know it's from you, God, but it comes into their homes and it protects them from the evil, it protects them from them being abused and from them being mistreated, God. I just thank you for more works in you, more works for the children to protect them and to lead them to you, to guide them to you, God. Shibra mahaya rekila la sera mathea rosa ramakena masela la haya kora mashila la haya kuna masea. Don't be afraid of your dreams, don't be afraid of the things that are inside of you, the words that have been spoken over you, but dare to act on them, dare to go out and believe that God used you, because He does and He wants to use you.
Amen to that. You'll be seeing more of them as we continue to grow and build. And, you know, God's really on the move right now for creativity for the children. I want to encourage you, go to Amazon and pick up this book because it's all about God. I mean, I just keep thinking about the children having that opportunity to learn the armor of God as a child, because it's really not taught much, because most adults don't believe the armor of God is every day. But I teach people, if you have a hatchet in your head and you have bad words someone spoke over you and you don't repent and pray and go, God, I'm not going to receive that, I'm going to pray it through, you know, and not allow that offense to come in. Before you know it, you got swords and arrows in you, and that's the importance of the helmet of salvation, because it means you're healed, whole, and delivered and set free, and Christ paid the price, you know, and He's wanting that creativity for the children, because there is still an innocence out there. And it's okay for them to dream. People stop dreaming. Yes. And my Larry's like, good God, every time she has a dream, it's like whirlwinds, you know. But he's really the dreamer, and he just pushes me to fulfill it. And I want to thank you, because when I came, I was it last year, the year before, and you gave me a lion. And I can't tell you how many times that I encourage myself, because I keep you in prayer, because I know that you're the dynamic duo and that you're fighting for truth and justice just like I am. Different venue, same fight. It's true, right? And I'll pick up that line. I've worn it a few times because sometimes I need to feel that fire and to remind myself, you know, because everybody has times. We have hard times, we have good times. And it's always important to encourage yourself and see if you get, because, you know, we get that in that creative time as you write more books, because you are, right? Yes. And as you're writing more books, but I do see you traveling, going to the schools and into the systems and teaching children about the creativeness. And I think it's going to help teachers. The teachers, I keep hearing, the teachers are going to get their revelation of releasing the creativity, because my teachers told me I'd be nothing too. They go, oh, you'll be nothing. Trust me. And I was like, oh, okay. And as a child, can I tell you, I believed it, because I had a very difficult childhood. And so that's why it was important for the kids today to hear this, because this will go up on my channel, but I'm going to put it up on our Samuel channel so that the parents will be on there and they'll be able to see this and connect with you. And I really sense also to say this, that there will be pen pals. Like, I believe there's other children out there that want to write and stuff, and so we can direct them to you. But it doesn't that feel right? When I said that, a light went off, didn't it?
Actually, I thought of it earlier today. I had forgotten it. When this book, when she took it with her, because she was health teacher
Yes.
when I was in school, when I was in middle grade, and she read this, and that inspired me to start writing as well.
Oh
so
my
so
gosh.
it's already happening, and because she wrote, and she said that she had written a book, and I got to hear it. So I started to write, and from that I got a love of writing as well. And from that day on, I got a love for school. I got a love for learning, and like that has gone with me since then. So God is working, and I believe really that, yeah, it's true what you're saying.
Isn't that amazing? Because I look at you, you look like you're 18 or 19 years old, right?
I'm 28.
I know. But you look like you're 18 or 19. That's the anointing. So listen, we just want to bless you. I want to say this to the parents right now. Your families, your children are the most precious commodity that you have. And you need to guard that with your life. And start doing more things with them, like reading and getting outside, and get off some of these computers and the phones, and get reconnected, because many families that write us and ask us for a prayer, they go, we raised up our child, and by the time they were 10 or 12, they don't want to go to church, and they're having a lot of hard times. And Father, we just thank you for reversing every curse in the name of Jesus, and we release the blessing. And we'll be seeing you soon, but just thank you so much. I am so honored that you wrote a book and you grabbed the word, because I'm on TV because two women gave me a word when I was scared to death. Patricia King and Heidi Baker, I was scared to death 1 hour. I was like, oh, that's not happening. And then the Holy Spirit hit me, and bam, immediately. I was like, I can do this. And I was like, because it's always been in me. I didn't realize that. And you too. So you'll be seeing a lot more of them. And so I just bless you. Have an amazing week. And remember to do something great for yourself today, and for your family. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.